Okay, are you seeing the presentation?
Yes.
Okay, good. So I'm going to go through is basically the same presentation that I did for the AC3 project, but I believe that we have new viewers today. So I'm going to go through the services that we've made available from ASREN. And I want to take this opportunity in order to enhance the interaction between ASREN and the ANYRANs. So one of the big objectives that we had since the beginning of this project is try to get more closer to the ANYRANs and to get more closer to see how we can support. I see that there has been several developments during this 1 year that I joined the project, and I know that now ASREN has a lot to offer. So I would like to try to get this opportunity here, to strengthen this relationship between ASREN and ANYRANs. I mean, technically, in terms of technical stuff, and support. Okay, so it's not showing. I have to put in the first slide, otherwise not going to work. So this is it. So we did a big upgrade in our point of presence in London. We acquired some hardware, some servers, and a switch. And initially, we acquired this hardware, this big server, in order to implement the NOC services and functions, because we needed monitoring the network. We need some visibility of the links and of equipment. So we acquired this big server, this big storage server with a lot of capacity, in order to start the NOC services and functions. So we bought 2 rack servers, one general purpose, a very small application server for the team, for the ASREN engineering team to run test beds and to test applications and to test services before putting into production. And a big one, high performance storage server with a lot of storage capacity in order to implement the tools that we were anticipating that we were going to use. And initially, the servers, they were installed with the vSphere hypervisor, and as a standalone software version, just for allow us to create virtual machines and satisfy the NOC requirements. It's just to create some virtual machines that we needed for the NOC services. Later, the project evolved. We were able to support the training, the federated identity training, and to cope with the hands-on labs required by the training, we end up setting up a lot of virtual machines for the trainees, for them to be able to develop their skills. And so we need to install a centralized management platform for what end up, we did not anticipate that, but we end up creating an ASREN cloud. So right now in London, we have an infrastructure where we can provide infrastructure as a service. We can provide IaaS, and this is some screenshots of the vCenter. We have acquired a license for the VMware vCenter server, and we installed the vCenter server, and with the vCenter server, we can monitor, we can create templates, and we can very quickly, deploy virtual machines. So this is a type of service. It's not a very complete, comprehensive service, because we don't have an API, an API that we can offer to the users. But anyway, if one of the ANYRANs has the need to develop some service very quickly, to develop something, we can provide virtual machines of a certain capacity. So we are now in the process of upgrading this server to put more memory. We have a lot of storage, but we didn't anticipate that we are going to be providing this type of service. But right now, we are capable of providing some some virtual machines of some capacity and make them available to the NRAs to use and to develop tools or to install tools that they want to use. This is another screenshot. So we have the two hypervisors managed by this infrastructure. One is in the small servers that we use for test beds and prototypes. And the big one, we have a lot of virtual machines installed here. As you can see, those were created for the Identity Federation workshop. Okay, and infrastructure provides us all the monitoring capabilities and template creations and creations of VM. Is very good on expedites the process of creation of VMs and templates for the needs. One of the major goals that we achieved last year was to establish the NOC, the ASREN NOC. And for that, we developed several services and functions that we made available and we established using that cloud infrastructure that you saw on the previous slides. So we have now performance and event and incident, fault monitoring. We have those two functions established, developed, deployed in our cloud, and using the Cacti. So we have a Cacti server that's monitoring all the links that go to our router in London, ASREN router in London. So we have statistics of the router around the links and all the traffic that's passing through ASREN router. Also, for the event and incident monitoring, we installed a Zabbix server. And the Zabbix service is good because it's capable of sending notifications. So we have alarms. It keeps monitoring the links, and not only the links that go to the ASREN router, but also the other routers, border routers from the other NRAs. We can ping those routers, and we can monitor if those routers are available or not. And if there is a problem in the network, if there is a problem on the services that we are monitoring, the Zabbix service is going to send a notification to the NOC. So we know immediately if there is a problem, if the link's down, if there is a problem in the BGP session, if the BGP session is reduced for some reason. So we have a lot of things that we can monitor, not only link traffic, but we also can monitor BGP sessions and routing protocols. So the Zabbix service takes care of event and incident monitoring system. We also developed and deployed a service desk. So we have now in Jordan, in Amman, a NOC help desk. And we are able to track requests for service. If an NRA wants to send a request a service from the NOC or a service from ASREN, you can open a ticket, and we are going to be able to monitor this ticket and track until the problem is resolved. So we have the help desk installed in Jordan, operates during the Jordan working hours, and is not 24/7 at the moment, but is capable of attend on the next business day at most. So our maximum time, response time would be next business day, taking into account the Jordan operating hours. And together with the help desk, we have installed a service request tracking system and logging. This is the request tracker system where we can open a ticket and we keep track of the ticket. The ticket could be assigned to a network engineer. So we're going to follow up, and we're going to use email for communication using this service. So with that, we are able to track the service request from the NRAs, and also we are able to log. So every problem that we have and the resolution that's come to conclusion, we will have that log for future reference as a knowledge base. So about the planning for the NOC services, we have one concern at the moment, which is monitoring the links that go directly to GNet. All our systems that I showed to you previously we have now the capability of monitoring everything that goes to ASREN router. But we have several links from several ANRENs that don't go to the ASREN router, and instead they go to Giant directly. So we are thinking about how we can make this infrastructure available to also monitor and help you monitor those links, because we have these services, you know, we have event and incident management. So it should be easy for us to monitor those links and have an alarm raised if we have a problem, if we detect a problem. So one possibility is if you are willing to allow that, we could have the ASREN network management station. We could have the ASREN pulling the border nodes of the ANREN for statistics. You know, it doesn't need to be open, you know, because you can create some kind of access control list, and you can create even a big view. I don't need to see every interface of that equipment, but I'm much more interested in see at a minimum, you know, the link that goes to Giant. So one possibility is for you to create a MIB view and an access control list that allows us to do a polling, to do a SNMP request, a management protocol request, and get some statistics only for that interface. You can block the router to accept that. That's one possibility. Usually, the ANRENs, they have their routers behind a firewall. That's not the case for all of them, but maybe it's the case in some of the situations. And another possibility that you can use to maintain security is to create an IP filter, because our management station has a specific IP address from the ASREN public IP address block. So you can allow only pooling coming from this specific IP address, and we can have an access control list and a MIB view to allow visibility only for the links that are of the interest of monitoring from ASREN. So that's a suggestion, you know. I would like to engage with the ANRENs and see if there is a possibility, if you should consider that as a possibility. Because we in ASREN, we would like very much to have the capability of monitoring those links as well as the links that goes to ASREN router. And there is another alternative that we can think about. If you don't want for us to be pulling your equipment, you can try to set up a proxy agent. And this proxy agent is going to send information to our management station. So instead of us pulling directly your equipment through a firewall, you could set up a small proxy agent and send some specific SNMP information to our management station. Okay, so these are some suggestions. Of course, I'm open to other alternatives if you have something else to offer, but I would like very much for you to consider this scenario, this situation, and see what we can do to add those other links to our monitoring systems. And of course, we can also monitor more than that, more than just this one link. We can also set up some more complex monitoring actions, and we can make that visible on our systems. We can give you access to the cacti and to the Zabbix servers, and we can configure it in order to send you the specific information, or to make a view, or to make a web page specific for your systems. So that's a possibility. Okay. In terms of the technical discussions, because we are now in the verge of implementing new links under the AC3 project, I believe that in order to enhance and strengthen the technical, communication and closeness between ASREN and the ANRENs, we are willing to create the access point manager is a concept created by Giant, where every ANREN they has at least one person assigned as an access point manager, a technical person, because this person is going to receive communications from ASREN. If we have a problem, let's say with Giant, if the Giant service is down, so we can send on the access point manager list a communication indicate that the service is down and what's the reason has been done. So we can, before people start asking us what's the problem, we can send that. So it's important to create this access point manager list, so we can have at least one person from each one of the NRAs that's going to be the main person, the focus point to receive the communications regarding network operations. And I would like also, we would like also to create a technical mailing list, you know, for the technical discussions about the NRAs, and so we can give support. This could be a more technical mailing list, so we can have not only the access point manager, but could include more people from the NRAs, more technical people that would be engaged in discussions, you know. And these discussions could be very general, you know, not just about the network, but we could discuss new protocols and some things that we may think it could be interesting to develop for ASREN and NRAs, and so we can try to form some informal task forces and task groups, you know, to work on these prototypes, and we would be very glad, you know, to be able to provide this as kind of a support. But one of our planning for the next actions is to create those two mailing lists, to have the access point managers appointed for each one of the NRAs, and start a list for technical discussions. So basically,